Wedge is an F-15E Strike Eagle Weapon Systems Officer in the United States Air Force. She is currently assigned to the 389th Fighter Squadron at Mountain Home Air Force Base in Idaho. She attended the University of Utah, where she received her commission as a second lieutenant from the Air Force ROTC Detachment 850. She attended a 4-week officers field training course in the summer of 2013, where she graduated in the top 20% of her class. She graduated in 2015 with a Bachelor's of Science in Sociology with a Criminal Justice Certificate. As her first operational assignment, she moved to Boise, Idaho, and is now a member of the 389th Thunderbolts at Mountain Home Air Force Base. There, she's completed the new Wingman Mission Qualification course and is officially combat mission ready. She is currently in the upgrade to become a 2-ship flight lead with a total time of 260 hours in the F-15E. She has participated in stateside training exercises such as the WIC support for the 17th Weapons School out of Nellis Air Force Base, Combat Hammer at Hill Air Force Base, Slate operational testing, and Operation Noble Eagle Overwatch, support for our President. She will continue to support this month attending the large force exercise Green Flag West out of Nellis Air Force Base. She will deploy for her first combat deployment this fall with the Thunderbolts.
Thank you, cadre and battalion, for having me here today. As you can tell, I am not in the Army. Lieutenant Ermer, thanks for talking. I'm going to try. I don't have any cool war stories like you yet, but I'm going to try and bridge the gap between Air Force and Army for us all today. So I want you to start with me and imagine the world's perfect soldier or military member. I'm guessing you're picturing a strong, capable person willing to put their life on the line, willing to obey orders loyally, fiercely, without question or hesitation. The pinnacle of fitness and strength. Disciplined. For centuries, warriors had a certain look about them. You could see it in the way they walked down the street. But now, and in recent history, the modern warrior can be unsuspecting. It can be anyone with a passion and drive to serve our country. There's no one look about them. What connects us all as members of the United States Department of Defense is one common thread: our ambition and craving to be part of something more meaningful and bigger than ourselves. My argument today is that the military is better because of our differences, new and old. That who we are, where we come from, and our experiences that we bring to the table is what gives the Army or the Air Force something unique in a way that we have not seen before. When I meet someone new, and it inevitably comes up in a conversation that I'm a member of the military, I get a lot of reallys and you. At first, I took it as a compliment that people would be so blown away that someone like me would join our nation's defenses. Whether that be because I am, I'll admit, pretty girly. I wear red lipstick occasionally, I love high heels, and I was a member of my sorority. I'm not the typical soldier. However, after my 4 short years of being on active duty, I've realized and come to see firsthand that the Air Force and the military as a whole is so diverse in its personnel that everyone has something to offer it, and you will too. A few months ago, I got the unique opportunity to be a part of a recruiting event designed around women aircrew members. I was one of 80 women who went to Edwards Air Force Base to create social media content that was to promote that women can fly too. And you're probably thinking, of course women can fly airplanes, this is 2019. However, you'd be surprised how many people in our country don't fully understand that. I am one of 4 women in my fighter squadron, made up of 70 pilots and Rizzos. And I'll admit, on a day-to-day basis, I barely even notice. I've been truly blessed that I've been accepted as a fighter pilot and not only a woman. I'm held to the same standards as my male counterparts. I'm evaluated the same, and I'm expected to perform at the same level. This is how it should be. However, there are moments when comments are made, be it in social settings or at the squadron bar, where I am challenged. I was once told that girls are only let in a fighter squadron to have someone to cuddle with. This was a moment I was not expecting. This was truly a moment when I realized a gender minority can come with a price. That everyone is not going to see you as an equal. It was in this moment that I had two choices. I could blow up with a rampant speech on girl power, which I will not be giving you tonight, or I could let my performance do the talking. I went back to work, to studying, to preparing to be the best woman that I could be, and I let that comment fuel my drive to be better. When you go on active duty, you will have women and men as your leaders, as your peers, and as the troops that you will lead. I challenge you, if you find yourself in a similar situation, or even as a bystander, not to internalize this. You cannot be responsible for other people's actions. You must understand that another person's behavior is a statement about them and not you. What is your responsibility is to rise above it. Support your colleagues and their goals infallibly. Being a woman in what has been a traditionally male-dominated profession has not been the only shaping factor in my career. Not only am I a woman, I am, in the military's eyes, a young woman. And all of you today, here as cadets, will be in my position as soon as you enter active duty. You will be fresh-faced, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and ready to take on your new role as an officer. You will be seen as inexperienced and untried by your leadership and mentors, maybe even grouped into what they label us, dare I say it, millennials. I'm here to tell you today that that is a powerful position to be in, and I'll tell you why. The generational diversity that you will experience in the military will be vast. You will have leaders that have grown up in the very traditional military system, members of the baby boomers and Gen X generations. They were competitive, self-reliant, and garnered validation based on time spent at the office. They are respected because they are considered to be motivated by position and authority, independence, responsibility, and competency. Being a millennial, you could be seen as selfish, unwilling, lazy, not able to do the dirty work, snowflake kids that would rather be connected via Snapchat than to their world face to face. However, I would argue that being a millennial puts us in a position that the military system has not had before. We've grown up in a world where innovation and technology has been a part of us, a part of an innate need and want to better our world, to create amazing things that were not available for the generations before us. Use this to promote change. Use this to shape your ideas and influence to what could be a stagnant, pacified way of doing things. Challenge the status quo and work with each other to come up with new ways of being the most efficient, deadly, and superior military the world has ever seen. I say this with one disclaimer. Do not use this to allow yourself to become entitled. You in fact will be inexperienced and untried when it comes to those above you. You will have to prove yourself as capable and worthy, just as everyone before you has. This is not solely a military belief. This stretches through all aspects of various workforces, to CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, to seasoned professors who have been granted tenure, athletes who started as rookies and became the best of their sport. But even the best of the best did not get there by themselves. Use that wealth of knowledge of those appointed over you. Find a mentor and bridge the generational gap, and use other experiences to shape the experiences as you find your place in the new world you're about to be in. But as you do, I challenge you to think outside the box. If something has been done that way simply for the sake that has always been done that way, find a new way. Crave innovation, not for innovation's sake, but to better your army. As you find your mentors and leaders that will become your guides through your career, you will eventually find yourself in a position where you have become that person. After a few years, or as maybe as soon as you get your command of your first platoon, you will all of a sudden be the mentor to a handful of young soldiers. These soldiers will come from a huge variety of places, ethnicities, family lifestyles, socioeconomic status, and levels of education. They will bring to your company a plethora of ideas, opinions, and with some of those, some issues. When those issues come up, as a leader and a mentor, you will have to be understanding, approachable, and humble. You must merely not sympathize with their situation, but empathize with their background. Get to know your people and connect with what made your soldiers who they are. After all, no matter where they come from, they too have that same common thread as us all. That same drive and passion that has brought us all here today. Your duty is going to not just be acknowledge the backgrounds and diversity of your soldiers, but to embrace it. Let your understanding and compassion for the why people are the way that they are shape the advice you give and the decisions you make. I often say that my favorite part of the job is the people I get to do it with. The level of excellence that I see from my colleagues each day is unparalleled. Being surrounded by people who are willing to give so much makes the harder parts of the job a lot easier. The long hours, the extra time spent in the squadron when I could be with friends and family, the countless trips, TDYs, and deployments away from home. All of these things could be thrown into the con column if you really wanted. But one huge pro outweighs them all. And that is because at the end of the day, my fellow aircrew and your fellow soldiers will be the ones at your side. It won't matter whether if they are men or women, if they are older or younger, if they are Mormon or Muslim, or if they came from the suburbs or the streets. They all choose the same path as you and me, and the one universal truth runs through us all. And that is our feeling of duty to defend our country, and we will do it side by side with acceptance,